But we on live on YouTube right now, so people can see me.
Yep.
Oh nah.
Miss O'Leary, can you enable screen share?
Je veux que tu saches.
Dust is falling from your head. Always peculiar.
Good afternoon, DP parents, staff, and soon-to-be DP alums. My name is Lehana Mopono, and today I'll be sharing a poem that I wrote called Mirror Mirrors. The mirror mirrors all that I say, do, and touch. Everything considered, what I see is often always reflective through this looking glass. This tempered looking glass of resilience, beauty, and awe. The mirror mirrors all that I say, do, and feel. To feel is to know is to think, and to think is to feel. The mirror mirrors all that I say, do, and appreciate, because no person in my mind, no person of mine, looks just like I do when I look at this mirror. But when this glass shatters, pieces of shattered glass hit the floor shattered, distorted image of me shattered is the glass. The mirror mirrored what I said, did, and touched. What I saw is no longer reflective in this looking glass. This glass, that glance that was, that is no longer glass, shattered. The mirror mirrored what I said, did, and felt. What was felt is now gone. What was thought is no longer seen, but to think is to feel. The mirror mirrored all that I said, did, and appreciate. Shattered image of we, shattered is this glass. But my reflection is still intact. Everything considered, what I see is always reflective through this looking glass. The mirror will mirror something extraordinary. The mirrors of the world will reflect the image of 1 million individuals, inching to complete the impossible, succeeding all obstacles. Class of 2020, unstoppable. Thank you. Succeeding all.
Thank you, Leon. Beautiful opening to our beautiful celebration. Welcome, family, staff, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the class of 2020. We are honored to be your hosts at this year's graduation for DPHHS graduation. My name is Denzel, and I'm a rising senior here at Harlem High.
And my name is Nicholas Pinheiro, and I am also a rising senior here. We are so excited to celebrate this year's class. I am honored to MC this graduation with people who I've grown up with throughout my teenage years. We have had a lot of laughs, send-outs, and demerits, but you have all prevailed past numerous obstacles that have come your way, and Denzel and I can't wait to follow your footsteps. We have an exciting program today, so let's continue with an address from our CEO, Natasha Trivers. Before that, I would like to have a moment of silence to honor all Black lives and the fight towards equality. Thank you.
Seniors, and in just a few moments, graduates. Welcome to graduation 2020. What a year this has been. We all took a sigh of relief on January 1st, thinking we were getting a fresh, clean, easy slate for the brand new year. Then almost immediately, it felt like a Pandora's box of events flooded the year. Wildfires were ravaging Australia, a military conflict between the US and Iran, the tragic death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and 7 others. And that was just the month of January. Here we are, 5 months later, in the midst of quarantining and extreme social distancing. None of us could have imagined that we would be living through a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic where nearly every aspect of our lives has been fundamentally changed. We have also seen the tragic and unfortunate deaths of Black Americans like Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd happening too often, which has caused additional trauma for us all. As the mother of 2 Black sons, frankly, I'm feeling exhausted, as I know many of you do too. And seniors, you so deserve to have a normal, happy, joyous celebration of all of your hard work, filled with friends, families, and laughter. We are so sorry that we won't be able to celebrate you as a group in person this year. However, your school leaders and staff have worked incredibly hard to make this day the best Zoom graduation there ever was. And it's a celebration worthy of all of you. We know that you will be the ones to solve the problems that plague us today. You will be the ones to trail a brighter path forward. And you are the ones we've been waiting for. Seniors, we are so very proud of you. Many of you have had to make last-minute changes to your plans about what to do next year. You may be taking a gap year before you go to college so that you can be home to work or help your family. You may have decided to change colleges since many schools will be all online in the fall. Or maybe you are staying the course, attending your school of choice for the next 4 years, no matter the format. Whatever you have decided is the right choice for you and your family this coming year, we support that. I have absolute faith that no matter what you decide to do, you will show the active citizenship you've already demonstrated as scholars at Democracy Prep. You will be lifelong learners, and you will do everything in your power to pay it forward and advocate for an excellent education for every single child in this country, regardless of zip code. You have shown grace and resilience under these once-in-a-lifetime circumstances, and I am in awe of all of you. Please know the world is still yours for the taking. You have worked hard, you have battled through many end-of-course assessments, changed the world requirements, quadratic equations, AP exams, and essays in your English and history classes. You have really worked hard, and we have no doubt that next you will go to college and you will change our world for the better. Families, we owe you a huge thank you today as well. We at Democracy Prep know that days like today are not possible without you. You too have had to make incredible changes very quickly in the face of COVID-19 and other happenings in the world. You've had to navigate the switch to remote learning. Before that, you supported your scholars in countless other ways that we are incredibly grateful for. We know that choosing to come to a Democracy Prep school means choosing a longer school day with a really rigorous but rewarding curriculum. Thank you for choosing Democracy Prep. We love the class of 2020, and we are so excited to see where life takes them. Thank you again. Congratulations, seniors.
Thanks, Ms. Trivers. That was a heartfelt video. Now let's hear from our current principal, Brian Martin.
Thanks, Nicholas. Excuse me. And thank you to Leanna for her beautiful opening. Welcome again to all of our community joining us remotely here. I'm sorry that we're not sitting in the Apollo Theater right now, but truly I am grateful for this time to celebrate our graduates, the class of 2020. Honored. That's how I told you all I felt when I joined you this January. At that time, I was honored to be asked by Ms. Trivers and Mr. Popper to lead your school through a challenging time. I was honored to join a school which, in its short history, has seen so much student success. And 6 dizzying months later, I'm still honored, but for a different reason. I'm honored now to be a part of this community, a community characterized by not only achievement, but support and belonging. Belonging to a community is one of those things that gets passed over when young people are being advised for the future. Work hard, change the world, all good advice and truly words to live by. But sometimes I worry that students hear that and think that they need to go out into the world and prove themselves by doing those things on their own. And nothing could be further from the truth. One achieves in part by the support from one's community. And you all are blessed to be launching your adult lives from a strong one. But what is our school community? Is it the people? Well, they change. Teachers move on, students graduate. Is it the place? Well, and I don't mean to disparage our school, but it's a floor plus a couple of rooms perched 4 floors up in the Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center building. And I'm not sure that's what makes it special. Perhaps it's our mission and motto. Well, that's shared by 25 other schools, so that's not what makes our school unique either. Rather than one particular thing, I'd argue that Harlem High is like a good stew, with so many ingredients mixed together and slow cooked into a flavorful dish. Its tastiness can't be tied to any particular component. But even though it burned your tongue a few times and left some stains on that nice shirt and, am I overusing the metaphor? Anyway, the point is, you belong to this school. Not in the sense that the school possesses you or something like that, but in this, that this is a place where you belong. You are part of the fabric that makes up this institution. I am too now, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm a smaller piece of the tapestry than you all are, and you should take pride in that. You belong to a great institution, not a perfect one, not one without some serious things that it needs to grow on, but it is a real community, and one whose members don't lose their membership simply because they no longer walk its halls. In fact, just this week, we saw an alum, Chelsea, return to our school to moderate the student forum on Juneteenth. I saw a former literature teacher drop into 11th grade town hall yesterday to present a student award. And on Wednesday, I saw several alumni come back to support students at the individual diploma ceremonies. When members of a community return, it's an indication of a community's strength. But it's also a time when those members can draw support from their community. And that's what I want you all to take away. Go to college, please, get out. But come back. Come back to contribute to the school that has given much to you. Drop into reflection and talk to a 9th grader who is struggling in Korean 1. Come sit on some Change the World panels. Come back to reconnect with teachers. Come host a workshop at a future day of learning. And when you do, perhaps you'll see the AP program that you advocated for has grown a bit more. Perhaps, Mohamedou, you will see a robust financial literacy curriculum being taught as you outlined in your Change the World project. Perhaps you'll see that underclassman you mentored blossoming into a powerful young adult. Regardless of the specific features of this community you see upon returning, you will see a thriving institution, one that you played an important role in building, a role that I urge you to continue to play. And when you do, you will feel strength, the strength of knowing that you belong to a community and institution that you helped shape. Congratulations, class of 2020. I know I speak on behalf of the whole DPHHS community when I say we are so very proud of you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Martin. We really appreciate it. Now it's time to go down memory lane. We're gonna truly miss you guys. It's been some tough years, but here we present to you the senior video for the class of 2020.
My favorite memory at DPHHS was 11th grade. Was in 11th grade day of service, because that day my advisory trip got canceled, and that didn't stop any of us. It didn't down our spirits. We just stayed in school. We helped around school as much as we could, and then we went downstairs to the art room and we were just making signs. Everyone was working together and just helping each other.
I was able to experience at least one college trip that was able to give me a realization and the idea this is going to be me in a couple of years, and I should pretty much be able to work towards being one of these college students sitting down, grinding for his test, for his final, for his midterm. And this is something I want to be with you, and this is the dream that I wanted for myself.
The first ever BP versus DP game that I attended, I felt a sense of community, not just at DPHHS, but throughout the DP network. There were students there, alums, teachers, and family and friends, and we were all there to celebrate each other, to support each other, and remember one of our own.
I have this one video of me and my advisory on day of service, and we were just listening to Work by Rihanna. And we were packaging clothes to be able to put out in the store for people in need the next day. I just thought it was amazing seeing my advisory in that context making that impact.
What I'll miss most about DPHHS is the teachers and the support you get. Coming from another school in another country, the teachers here are amazing. They're always there for you when you need them. With school, with life, anything, you could always find a teacher that you trust, and they're just there to help, and you're always ready and willing to help.
I was able to have support systems of the staff members being there, where they're able to tell me I'm always there for you if you need help.
What I miss most about DP are the relationships that I built throughout my time here with teachers and peers. They all helped me become the best version of myself.
Something I'll definitely miss from DPHHS is like that small knit community. I would have never imagined, being able to like FaceTime my teacher. Like, I think it's just sort of like a testament to how invested teachers were in our education.
Every other Friday, I look forward to advisory because one, there was food, it was busting, right? We have good food. And also, I just got to talk my stuff with my girl, you feel me? Everybody in the group was like, they was real.
Like, I'm very passionate about women's safety, so I want to create a world where normalcy includes gender equality and women's safety, especially for Black women.
My workforce doesn't have that many people of my skin color, my background, of my demographic. I want to be able to change that. Yes, it's not the world, but it's pretty much the world to me in the workforce.
When I start college, I will be majoring in criminal justice, and my goal is to become a lawyer. And I would like to help those who have been convicted and those who have not been convicted and are awaiting trial. I would like to help the number of people in prisons go down. My goal to change the world would definitely have to be to expose the misrepresentation of minorities in society and to bring awareness to the underlying issues that are occurring in these groups.
I was just watching the State of the Union address and nobody there looked like me. Very few people looked like me and my classmates. When I go to college and eventually when I go to law school, 4% of all lawyers in the country are Latina. So, I definitely want to be not only not change the statistic, but also inspire other young girls as well.
That video has a lot of memories and friends that just evokes a nostalgic emotion. I want to pass it over to our keyboard whiz, Mr. Wowhammer, the senior grade level chair.
Thank you, Nicholas. I'm pleased to announce the winners of our content awards and to follow up with the rationale from their teachers. First up is senior math. From Mr. Mundo, this scholar was consistently the highest performer in AP Calculus. He has a 98% exam average, does not have a single missing homework or classwork assignment, and he works hard to understand content at a deep level while always taking time to help his peers. Congratulations to Shaq Eula. And now for senior ELA, which I have the privilege to announce the winner for in my class. This scholar has been the strongest ELA student in my class for the entire year across the categories of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. She has completed college-level work, wrote eloquent, thought-provoking essays, offered poignant share-outs and discussions, and much more. She demonstrated a high level of intellectual curiosity and a willingness to improve throughout the entire year. Congratulations to Zainab Saad. And now for Korean, from Ms. Kim. Ms. Kim believes that grit is a key to success in life, and this scholar has shown her what grit looks like in a Korean 3 class. This scholar doesn't give up when the quiz was difficult and retook it over and over to get a better grade. When learning a difficult concept, this scholar asked questions to understand it. This is not easy to stay positive through this process, but this scholar did. The scholar not only mastered Korean language, but more importantly, the scholar knows how to achieve what they want with grit. Congratulations to Madison Grant. Now for senior science, and this is from Ms. Orthman. This scholar not only brings excellence when it comes to understanding the content and demonstrating what they have learned, but also in their general approach to class every day. Despite the setup of the AP Computer Science course being different from other courses, this scholar has always brought a positive mindset and willingness to persevere, leading the class by example and often lending a hand to their peers. This is from Mr. Xu. In addition, this scholar has demonstrated mastery across multiple science disciplines. At the beginning of the year, the scholar reached out asking to be a senior TA for physics, given her strong desire to support her peers and innate abilities to explain complex scientific concepts. Congratulations to Javancha French. And now for Change the World. This is from Mr. Tillmans. There is a voice inside each of us, a voice that sees injustice and speaks truth to power, but finding a way to let it out and do it in a way that resonates with others is a skill that must be practiced. It is because Change the World isn't just about speaking powerfully, but about the process of crafting one's voice, that I know that this scholar is deserving of this award. I believe, and I think he would agree, that his final presentation isn't something he thought was going to be possible a month prior. But by the end, you could feel something powerful had occurred. And it was Hamza Nikwe's voice that created it. Congratulations, Hamza. And now for the arts. This is from Mr. Vidmar. This scholar is such a talented artist. Her work is always thoughtfully and creatively done, full of personal style. She is a role model and a leader to her classmates and has a positive attitude every day. Mr. Vidmar encourages you to continue drawing. And this is from Ms. Kowalski. Since her freshman year, this scholar has been an exemplary theater student. Her work is courageous and thoughtful and pushes her peers to be the same. She leads by example and is destined to succeed in whatever path she may choose. Thank you for a wonderful 4 years. Congratulations, Valeria and Drango. And now for athletics. This is from Mr. Wolf. Over the years, this scholar has shown tremendous growth. Struggles with academics grew into success on the court. He was never shy to give his opinion in times of team unrest. While sometimes he needed to figure out the correct way to express his opinion, he always came back with respect and wonderful reflection. He has been one of the most well-respected leaders that we have ever had on the team. I've always felt that he learned from his mistakes and applied the conversations we had to his everyday life. I have no doubt in my mind that possessing this skill will take him to succeed on whatever path he chooses to take in life. Zafir, thank you for the memories, the success, the challenges, and the growth that we both experienced during your time here at DP. Congratulations, Zafir, Yas, and Bradley. And now for our Dragon Award. In various Asian cultures, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean folklore, the dragon is a symbol of power and strength. At Democracy Prep, the dragon is also a symbol of bravery. The senior who earns this award is one who has experienced incredible obstacles in his or her life, but have overcome them nonetheless, or is one who has exhibited significant bravery throughout his or her time at DP. This scholar may have stood up for a cause that was unpopular, for example, or advocated consistently for positive change in his or her high school community. Congratulations, Vijani Azare. Now for the Dream Big Award. The Dream Big Award is given to one scholar who most exemplifies each of the Dream Big values throughout his or her tenure at Democracy Prep. At DP, we spend time instilling values of discipline, respect, enthusiasm, accountability, maturity, bravery, initiative, and grit in our scholars. Therefore, when we ask you to dream big, we're both calling your attention to each of these values through the use of the Dream Big acronym, as well as pushing scholars to take the words to heart. You can do this by taking initiative, working hard, and dreaming as big as you possibly can. This is especially true in high school. It is important for scholars to do their very best academically, but it is also important for them to exhibit bravery, take initiative by taking on leadership roles or starting new programming at the school, and to show tremendous grit, which is the willingness to keep going and never give up. The senior who earns this award has best exemplified these values throughout their time at the high school. Congratulations, Lehana Mapona. And now for our valedictorian and salutatorian. First up, the valedictorian. I'm pleased to announce that this student has demonstrated the highest level of academic achievement throughout their high school career. DPHHS is proud to announce the 2020 valedictorian is Javantra French. Congratulations. And now for the salutatorian. We're also quite proud to announce, and from their first moments at DPHHS, this scholar has demonstrated an impressive capacity to learn rigorous material, and this achievement is very well earned. Congratulations, Brian Corey III. And finally, we're going to move on to the Winston Perez Ventura Award for Optimism. It's not every day when you meet someone who changes your life for the better. Winston Perez Ventura was one of those people. He dedicated his life to his family, his work, and going above and beyond to show that he cared about everyone around him. Almost 3 years ago, we lost Winston, who passed away after a tragic accident the summer before he began his freshman year of college. He was a member of our founding class, graduating 3 years ago, and was accepted to the prestigious Cornell University. Many current DPHHS scholars and staff will not remember him directly. Therefore, it is our responsibility to keep the memory of his optimistic spirit alive. He was a mentor to many of our younger scholars, a model of discipline, respect, enthusiasm, accountability, maturity, bravery, initiative, and grit. Therefore, in honor of Winston, each DPHHS senior has cast their vote for a peer who they believe embodies the spirit of optimism. They have selected Isaac Soto. Congratulations, Isaac.
Congratulations, scholars, for all the awards you guys have received. Up next, we have the one and only, the man who started with us during our freshman year up to now. Ninth grade bio teacher. He taught physics last year for the first time, and he was currently the 12th grade AP biology teacher. The man himself, my man, Mr. Shu.
Thank you, Denzel. Good afternoon to our families, friends, staff, and of course, the graduates of the class of 2020. I am deeply honored to have the opportunity to speak before you today. I have had the unique privilege that few educators get to experience, teaching the same cohort of scholars for their entire 4 years of high school. Yes, that means some of these graduates have had the pleasure or displeasure, depending on who you ask, of listening to me teach from 9th grade bio, 10th grade chemistry, 11th grade physics, all the way to 12th grade AP biology. Now, I'm not a math teacher, but that's 5 hours per week, 40 weeks per year for 4 years on top of homeroom, advisory, town halls, and school trips, which altogether add up to over 1,000 hours that I've spent with this class. So before we send you off, I can find nothing more fitting than to have you listen to me talk for just another few minutes. At the beginning of this year, none of us could have imagined that we would be coming together to celebrate your graduation in a virtual setting. This global pandemic has not only upended our sense of normalcy in our daily lives, but has also brought to the forefront the health, economic, and racial inequities that plague our country. And while our current situation may seem dark, I see a ray of hope through the actions and voices of you, our young changemakers, who have been protesting and fighting for justice. Your time at DP has prepared you for this moment. From learning how to develop coherent claims and arguments, to critically analyzing a text or problem, drafting up proposals, learning about other languages and cultures, and most recently, presenting a year-long Change the World project. You all have put in tremendous amounts of work to hone your skills and tackle any challenge that comes your way. I have personally witnessed each and every one of you embody our Dream Big values and develop the ability to organize, analyze, empathize, and energize those around you. So when writing this speech, I struggled to figure out what advice I could impart to this group of young adults who mean so much to me. After all, we have been through a lot together, from dissecting frogs in biology lab, winning the house points competition in UVA homeroom, overcoming our fear of whitewater rafting in the Amazon, getting thrown a surprise birthday party in South Korea, going on an advisory scavenger hunt around Harlem, and of course, celebrating your acceptances to the colleges of your choice. So what pieces of advice can I offer the class of 2020 from my limited years of working in the real world? I think back to when I was in your position. Now, I'm about to give away my age here, but when I graduated high school back in 2009, I was excited to attend the college of my choice, the University of Southern California. Go Trojans. I was eager to pursue my major of biomedical engineering and learn how to use science to solve many of our world's problems. But perhaps like many of you will, I struggled with deciding on which path to take for my final career. As far as I could tell, my options after graduation were to pursue pre-med and become a healthcare worker, to continue my education and go for a PhD in neuroprosthetics, or to follow in the footsteps of my parents and work as an engineer. However, these paths that I thought were my only option were just expectations put onto me by my parents and society, and not what I truly wanted. I watched as my fellow classmates enthusiastically prepared for life after college, getting offers for their dream jobs, being accepted into graduate programs, and continuing down their chosen paths. I felt that I was going nowhere. And so I decided to delay my entrance into the real world by taking a 5th year at USC to pursue a master's degree and use that time to figure out what I wanted to do. Throughout all of this, a path slowly began to illuminate itself before me. During my junior year of college, I started volunteering at an after-school program that tutored students from the surrounding neighborhood. I worked with a group of high school students on their math homework, taught them over the summer with SAT, and helped them work on their college applications. Every interaction that I had with those students, similar to the ones that I've made with each of you, made clear to me the importance and power of education. There was never any one light bulb moment. Instead, it was more like a dimmer switch that revealed to me a new path. Becoming a teacher had never even crossed my mind, but serving others as an educator and imparting scientific knowledge slowly became my dream. So I share this story for 3 main reasons. First, find your passion. Do not let others decide it for you. College will be a time for you to figure out your identity and what you want out of life. So take advantage of it. Second, be open to new ideas and try out something different. You never know, that unexpected course or extracurricular may just lead you to a newfound interest or career. Third, persevere. Now more than ever, we are facing a future of uncertainty. You must be persistent in overcoming obstacles and doing what you feel is best. At times, you may feel that you are not progressing or that your path is winding away from your dream. But everyone goes through ups, downs, and plateaus. Only you can define what success looks like for you by persevering and finding your own way. For me, my journey has led me here to Democracy Prep, where I've been able to share my passion and help the next generation become scientifically engaged in a time when understanding medicine and climate change seem to be under attack. Now, as the teacher who has been your primary source of science education in high school, I would be remiss to not give you one final review lesson. So I hope you all brought your reference tables. Just kidding. In my physics class, we learned about the laws of motion, the third of which states, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Well, no offense to Sir Isaac Newton, but I have found in my time working with you, the class of 2020, that even small actions can have profound impacts. I see this every day in your conversations in the hallways, mentoring our underclassmen, snapping in support of one another's ideas to build each other's confidence, singing and dancing to bring joy to those around you, saying a simple hello with a smile to brighten someone's morning, cheering someone on at a game, sharing a social media post for a Change the World project, checking in on a friend who's been having a rough day, and so many more examples. Take a moment to reflect on all of the ways that your fellow graduates have supported you to reach this point. Think about how much each of those actions meant to you. Now realize that you have had that same profound impact on your peers. This class has developed such a strong community that inspires people to leave the world in a better place. While you are each going off to the colleges of your choice and continuing down your own individual paths, know that you will always have that community here at Democracy Prep, and we will welcome you back with open arms. We love you, we will miss you, And we are so incredibly proud of all that you have accomplished here at Democracy Prep Harlem High School. We can't wait to see what happens next on your journey. Congratulations again to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Shu. With this next segment, I'm personally really proud of this dude. I had no idea that he had the rap skills that he has, but it's impressive. And I got a good feeling you guys are gonna enjoy this. Now, I present to you guys, not just Aaron Wright, but my boy, Ron Kenzo.
Hey, class of 2020. I know this pandemic really got everyone messed up right now, but I hope this song uplifts y'all and get everyone active. Let's get into it. Look. Graduated, now we level up. Graduated, now we leveled up. All them good days, but them really hard classes. We broke all the rules, stealing whole passes, thought we couldn't do it. We did it like it's magic. Corona took over, yeah, it was really tragic. Making all these lessons like it really is a habit. We get them like it's Christmas, pay attention, you might miss us. We did it in a rush, all we needed was a push. Graduated, now we leveled up. Graduated, now we leveled up. Grinding all my life, had some really hard nights. Demons creeping at my dreams, they really wanna fight. People play me out of spite, name my roles into a right. Chess and cheddar like Jerry. Got the juice, no berry, college like a mystery. Yeah, we bout to make history. People was blind, now they vision couldn't see. We found haters still searching like the Odyssey. Graduated, now we level up. Graduated, now we level up. Wearing Nike the way they check us. Losers met to hating, had to get their kids a cut. Cause of 2020 fell off, but we made it up. For those that hated, they would never qualify. Stressing these exams, we commit a mental suicide. Putting the work, now we clocking in for overtime. Class of 2020, we did it, it's our time. Graduated, now we level up. Graduated, now we level up. We winning, no cheat code. We stuck on beast mode. Look at us, all you see is gold. Reloaded, man, we never need a reload. Going up to college, about to start a new chapter. We so blessed, got me feeling like a pastor. We started off as rookies, now we leading like the masters. Class of 2020, I pray for but after. Graduated, now we level up. 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 Graduated, man, now we level up.
Thank you, Aaron. Now onto someone who has been a literal genius from 9th grade. Some may know her as Valeria, but I consider her as one of my peers and friends. Everyone, Valeria.
Good afternoon, staff, families, and graduates. Under regular circumstances, I would have searched up best high school graduation speeches, and I probably would have pulled together some quotes like the ones on our never-ending staircase. Something like started from the bottom, now we're here, which I'm pretty sure is on the 4th floor. But we do indeed find ourselves in a world that is anything but regular. In the words of Beyonce, we are graduating today despite living through a global health crisis, a racial pandemic, and the expression of outrage at the unfortunate and senseless killings of unarmed Black human beings. Our country finds itself in a state of polarization and confusion. And while we like to think that this is a present day problem, it is the result of a system that has worked endlessly for years to disadvantage the groups our school primarily serves. Despite this and so much more, we still find ourselves here, graduating. We find ourselves transitioning from childhood to adulthood. There's a saying that graduation is the light at the end of a tunnel, and right now it feels like that light is an oncoming train. And while it may seem scary, I still find a profound sense of optimism knowing that Democracy Prep Harlem High School's class of 2020 is part of the next generation of leaders. I am so proud of each and every single one of you. The first time I walked into Democracy Prep Harlem High School was to pick up my summer reading for freshman year, The Other Westmore. The very first literature unit in high school was centered around this idea of fate versus free will, a concept that would never be more relevant than it is today. As 9th graders, we didn't really know what it meant to take charge of our high school careers, let alone our lives. We spent that year exploring who we were as individuals. We signed up for clubs, we joined theater, we tried out for sports. We did anything and everything we could to push ourselves outside of this box, even if at times it ended with one of us in the reflection room. But it was a learning moment nonetheless. Fast forward to today, it is clear that our high school journey has been a reflection of our own choices. In the context of our literature unit, this was all free will. The fact that we are here graduating today is a reflection of our choice to sit in the blue and yellow classrooms for what seemed like hours on end. It is a reflection of our choice to learn Korean. It is a reflection of the hours we spent in the college office. It is a reflection of the long list of regions we had to pass. It is a reflection of our choice to build friendships with one another. But most importantly, it is a reflection of the different sacrifices that had to be made. Now, when I mention sacrifices, I do mean some of our own. You know, as high schoolers, we tend to sacrifice a lot of sleep and a lot of free time. But there are also dozens of people who sacrifice just as much, if not more, to make sure we are here graduating today. From our staff that worked endlessly to make sure our day ran smoothly from 7:30 a.m. to 4:15 p.m., to our teachers who never failed to not only educate, but inspire. Thank you to each and every single one of you for always pushing us to dream bigger and fight harder. It goes without saying that our families have also sacrificed a lot to make sure we are here today. In one way or another, this diploma also belongs to them. Class of 2020, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. I would like to take a quick moment to thank my parents individually. Gracias, mamá y papá. Espero que todos sus sacrificios hayan valido la pena. I will never understand how someone can give up on their dreams so their children can live out their own. Thank you for always believing in me, even when no one else did. I mentioned earlier that this idea of fate versus free will is more relevant now than it is ever. And it's true. We're going into a world full of uncertainty, a world that at times does not have our best interests at heart. But the class of 2020 has already chosen to change that very same world. This year, through our Change the World projects, the class of 2020 has chosen to address homelessness, deforestation, female empowerment, mental health, and that's just to name a few. Now, I may not be the best person to give advice. I know there are people out there far smarter and far wiser, but if there's anything I could send you all away with, it's to keep making the right choice. Keep taking charge. Choose to reclaim that language. Choose to be the representation you never saw. Choose to share your voice with the world. Choose to be brave. Choose love. Choose to question the systems that are in place today. America, as we know it, is changing, and the decisions we make today, tomorrow, and the day after will directly influence how that change manifests itself. As we begin this transition to adulthood, learn to live. With every single cell in your body, live. It is said that we are every book we once read, every place we ever visited, and every person we've ever loved. We are made of the things that make us laugh and make us cry. We are our dreams and hopes. We are the ones in charge of writing our future. Class of 2020, we are change makers. I can't wait to see each and every one of you change the world. Congratulations, Democracy Prep Harlem High School Class of 2020. We did it.
Thank you, Valeria. I think we can all agree that there might not be so many people smarter and wiser than you. Okay, now we want to transition to another student performance. This one is a collaboration between one of our student poets and a couple members of the DPHHS STEP team. Please enjoy.
Dear Unexpected America by Nabitu Cisse. Why startle us like this? You do know that many of us come here expecting a better life, right? Yet we are faced with the white supremacy, the minimum wage, the racism, and the rage of the superiors, the critical judgments, the harsh words constantly targeted at us. Go back to your country. Is that a bomb in there? All this negativity that stands in the way of our success. Then we're expected to be what society wants and attacked if different. Dear Unexpected America, I expected something different.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again.
Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Continue to rise up and set the bar, period.
Well, that was incredible, guys. Really enjoyed that. Thank you to the dancers, Shania Rowe, Keyshawn Simmons, and the reader, Miss Richards, and Miss Hewitt, Mr. Kallan, and Miss Johnson for making the whole production happen. Your art inspires us, and I'm sure our graduates as well. We are so fortunate to have our next speaker join us for today's celebration. Dr. Howard Fuller has a career that I cannot hope to describe in full. It stretches back to the 1960s when he was a civil rights activist and the founder of the Malcolm X Liberation University. Later, Dr. Fuller joined Marquette University, where he worked to increase educational opportunities for low-income, first-generation college students. Dr. Fuller continued to serve the public in the field of education, ultimately becoming the superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools. Following his tenure in that position, Dr. Fuller founded a charter school in Milwaukee focused on college success. For over a decade and a half, that school has been working to prepare Milwaukee students to go to and through college. Sound familiar? Throughout his career, Dr. Fuller has supported the rights of Black parents to seek out educational opportunities that are best for their children. His work has been instrumental in the education reform movement, a movement that adds democracy prep students we are a part of. Dr. Fuller has a bachelor's from Carroll College, from Case Western Reserve, and the doctorate from Marquette University. And we are so thrilled to have him join us today to help celebrate the class of 2020. Dr. Fuller, you there?
I'm here. So, Denzel, thank you so much for that very kind introduction. And I want to say to the class of 2020 that I'm so proud of all of you. And I want to say to your parents and your relatives that this is also a day for you to celebrate. Because as someone said in their remarks, nobody gets to this point just by themselves. So each one of you graduates, you know that there's been a support system there that has helped you get to this point. It might have been your parents or your grandparents or your uncle or your aunts or your cousins or your friends, but it was somebody, along with the teachers and the staff at Democracy Prep Harlem High School. So on this great day, I want to make sure that no matter what else is going on, that at some point during this day, you take the time to look in the mirror and congratulate yourself on what it is that you've done. It's just like the opening student performance where she was looking at that mirror and talking about the power of that mirror. I want you to use that mirror at some point today and just recognize this accomplishment because it is important. So again, I just want to express my congratulations. I just want to talk about how important this is, but I want to look forward because I want you all to understand that you're going into a world that no one has ever really seen before. And when you did your Change the World project, I know you didn't think that the world that you're currently looking at was going to be the world that you were going to have to change. But so it is. And so you can't have a world that you wish existed. You can't have a world that used to exist. You have to deal with a world that actually exists. And that world today is in turmoil. It isn't just the pandemic. It isn't just the racism that has been a part of American society forever. It isn't just that you have hateful people in this world who would use immigrants as a scapegoat for what it is that's happening. It isn't just that you have a president of the United States who is actively trying to divide us and to turn us against each other. It's all of those things. But what it is more than that, it is a world that is going to require you to change it. It's a world that you can't just go out in and say, oh, you know what, I'm just going to be a part of the world. No, you're going to have to do what Paulo Freire said. You're going to have to go out into this world with a commitment to engage in the practice of freedom. And what that commitment means is that you're going to go out there saying, I am going to be a part of transforming this world. And you may look at this huge world and say, what can little old me do to in fact change the world? The reality is we don't know what one of you may mean to this entire world. Because when Martin Luther King or Cesar Chavez or any of your heroes or heroines that you would pick, when they walked out of high school, do you think they knew the impact that they were going to have on the world? No, they didn't know that. They may have thought about things they wanted to do. They may have had dreams, but they never knew that they would become who they ultimately become. And so it is for you. You may have a dream today, or you may see difficulties today, or whatever it is you're thinking today. You should understand that you may become one of the most important people in the entire world. One of you all may come up with something that we need so that there would be no more COVID-19. Some of you may go on to be great leaders in politics. Some of you all may discover businesses that people never thought would be discovered. Some of you are going to go out and raise families and have children who are going to go on to do great things. You don't know for sure where you're going to go and what the impact of you being in the world will mean. But what I will say to you is the things that you've learned at Democracy Prep, the things that you're learning now as you look at what's going on in the world, those things can be the foundation for you doing great things in this world. And I want to say to you that you're going to find barriers at every step of the way. Some of them are going to be because of your race or your gender or your language or whatever other barriers this world creates. And so you're going to have to be the type of person who goes out there in that world and attacks life. You can't just wait for life to come to you. You got to go out and attack life. You got to see those doors that are close to you. And you got to say to yourself, I'm going to bust this door down. Because some of these people are going to need to see you, not in a quiet, unassuming way. They're going to need to see the fury of you. They're going to need to see this rage. They're going to need to see your commitment to never being deterred by all of these haters that exist out there in the world. And so what Democracy Prep has done is to prepare you for this moment. And so what my hope is that you're going to take everything that you've learned, you're going to take all of these experiences, and you're going to go out and you're going to attack this world and make this world better. That you're not going to accept racism. You're not going to accept gender discrimination. You're not going to accept people saying that because you are an immigrant, you can't do this and you can't do that. You're not going to accept that. You're going to go out into this world with the kind of fury, with the kind of determination, with the kind of never give up attitude to make this world a different place. I'm hoping that today you will see this graduation as your springboard to you becoming a changed person so that you can change the world. And so what I'd like to leave you with is this, that if you get out in the world and you see that what you want to have happen to stop discrimination, to stop racism, to stop economic inequality, all of these things that are denying people their just due as human beings. If you see those things and you can't see a way for victory to happen, for some reason you just don't see that the world will change in the way that you want it to change, you cannot give up. Because I want you to understand that even if victory doesn't seem to be possible, you must still fight, because not to fight is to co-sign on the injustice. And I want you never, 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 never to co-sign on the injustice. So graduates of 2020, congratulations. There's no class that's ever been like your class, because no class in the history of humankind has ever faced what you face. And the fact that you faced it down, and in spite of all of the difficulties, you made it to this day. And you should congratulate yourself, and you should feel good about yourself. And so I want you to go out there and today be determined that you're going to change the world, and you're going to change the world by attacking life every single day. God bless you, and good luck to each and every one of you. Thank you.
I think we lost Denzel, but I wanted to thank you so much on behalf of the class of 2020 for sharing your wisdom, Dr. Fuller. And also, but before we let you go, we wanted to also congratulate you on your recent retirement from Marquette University this week, after leading in that institution for some 40 years. So congratulations, sir, on your career there.
Well, it was only 25, Brian. But
oh, it was? Oh, man.
But it's all good. But thanks a lot. And really thanks to everyone for inviting me. I want you all to have a phenomenal day.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And now I'd like to hand the microphone over to my assistant principal, Miss Caitlin Derry, for an important part of our graduation ceremony.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. It takes a village to raise a child stems from an African proverb that means that an entire community of people who after the child or a group of children will shape their experience as they grow in a safe and healthy environment. The community looks out for the children, and the entire village plays a role in raising a child, or in this case, a group of children. Our village has never been more necessary than it is today. We live in a fast-paced, instant information, pressure-packed, and deeply problematic world. Today's children are faced with a myriad of both challenges and opportunities. Navigating young adulthood can be daunting, which is why partnerships and supports are necessary to prepare our scholars for tomorrow. At this time, we would like to take this opportunity to honor that village at Democracy Prep Harlem High School. We will start with honoring the parents, the mothers, the fathers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and siblings. Next, we will honor the current DPHHS staff. And we will now honor the former DPHHS staff members and Democracy Prep Harlem Middle School staff members. And finally, we will honor our CMO family and external supports. As we can see, it really does take a village. All of these individuals in the community have contributed in their own unique way to support the class of 2020 at Democracy Prep Harlem High School. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for, the conferral of the diplomas. I will read each graduate's name and you will see them receiving their diploma on the screen. Rafiatu Abdu. Daniel Adepegba. Prudence Kanate Aju. Chastity Lizette Andino. Valeria Guadalupe Andrego. Byron Kofi Apia. Byron Kofi Ajani Antoinette Azarez. David Asidu. Ngale Dylan Bow. Malik B. Burton. Victor Calvo Para. Juan R. Carballo. Richard Centeno. Bisha Unique Shiddick. Idrissa Cisse. Brian Daniel Corey III. Ashane Cuevas. Janice Nicole Daniels. Afua Sewa Danso Dinkwa. Christian Dawson. Ileana Diaz. Sasha A. French. Amir Kishan Gooden. Madison Sylvia Anaya Grant. Jessica Houghton. Quinae Johnson. Ashley J. Marte. Jade Lynn Martinez. Aries I. Maid. Deja D. Middleton. Leana Grace Mapono. Hamza Nikwe. Junior Nkemgong. Vero Nkemgong. Brian Paredes. Eric Ruiz. Zainab Zakaria Saad. Koratum Sanogo. Jalen Singh. Modu Sistoho. Jovan M. Smith. Isaac Sarbelio Soto. Jesus G. Suero. Mahamadou
Finally.
Sankara.
Muhammad in the cut. Yo, can't smell, but whatever.
Shaq Ula.
Jack for president.
Abel Vargas.
My boy Abel, yeah.
Samantha Villalona.
Big fish.
Jordan White.
I'm after him. Mom.
Aaron. Mariano. Right.
Graduated.
Zafir. Yassine. Bradley. Mark A. Zaytev.
Thanks, Mark.
My boy Dumb Cute.
I'm honored to be the very first to officially congratulate the class of 2020 of Democracy Prep Harlem High School. Congratulations, graduates.
Congrats, man.
Turn on your cameras and celebrate.
Finish on my face.
We out of here.
Yeah, we out. Yo. Big up, yo.
DPK.
Yes, sir.
DPK.
I can't see my face.
Mohammed, look at you.
Time it's about to graduation.
Turn on my camera. Okay. Can't turn on my camera. Please put my head back on my
Yo,
camera.
Jessica.
Yo, turn my camera.
Okay.
Can't turn on my camera.
You graduates, congratulations. This concludes our ceremonies, but we actually have something we want to, some additional photographs we want to display. So we invite you to stay in the center and watch what we're going to show you now.